Summer is almost here and that means no school and typically a sparse lineup of games. But this year there are actually some pretty good pickings as far as game releases go. In this video we'll be taking a look at 10 awesome games coming in summer 2016. Let's get right into this. Number 10, The Techomancer. The Techomancer is a science fiction action RPG and it's one of the more interesting RPGs as far as premise goes. The game takes place in Mars during the War of Water, 200 years after humans colonized the planet. The main character, as the title of the game would suggest, is a Techomancer who is on the run from the secret police. There's multiple styles of combat and many decisions to make and how you complete each quest, leading to 5 different endings. The gameplay from what we've seen so far looks a bit blasé, but hopefully the game can turn out pretty good when it releases on June 21st.
Right now, you're looking at the Warrior stance, with a buff that increases its base damage but limits the ability gauge to one slot, reducing the amount of active skills we can use. You'll notice also...
Number 9, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. The LEGO games have had a track record for being some of the most fun, nonsensical games ever, and here comes the latest, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, based on the latest movie. Not only will the game be covering the content of the film, it will also include content which covers the period between The Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. That will make the story a bit more consequential than previous LEGO games, but the ridiculously fun gameplay will remain. LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens releases on June 28th. Number 8, Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 is one of the most controversial games of the year. Originally, when it was announced that Keiji Inafune would be working on a game similar to Mega Man, gamers were filled with excitement and contributed towards the game, raising over $4 million on Kickstarter. But after a series of delays, that hype and excitement has been greatly diminished. Many were left wondering, why did we ever support this game? However, Mighty Number 9's release is now on the horizon. The game still has potential to create magic. Inafune has done that before. Hopefully the delays were warranted and it made the game much better. We'll find out on June 21st.
And of course, you can go online and team up or face off against your friends, or strangers, or even that weird dude who lives down the street whose name is probably...
Number 7, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is one of the most popular anime and manga in the last decade, so it was only a matter of time before the series would see some video games. The 3DS title left a lot to be desired, so it's exciting that we have another game dubbed just Attack on Titan releasing on the PS3, PS4, Vita, PC, and Xbox One. Tecmo Koei is the publisher, so you'd expect a Musou-style game, but considering the license, there has to be a few different elements given things such as the maneuver gear. I don't think anyone is expecting Attack on Titan to be a AAA masterpiece, but if it's a fun recreation of the anime and manga, fans will enjoy it. It releases on August 30th. Number 6, Am Setsuna. Am Setsuna is the debut JRPG by Square Enix's newest game studio, Tokyo RPG Factory. The game is set in a constant winter and follows an unnamed mercenary and a girl named Setsuna who must offer herself as a sacrifice to appease hostile demons. Expect the story of the game to be extremely sad and somber. The art and visuals look fantastic for the style of game they were going for, an old-school Final Fantasy-like RPG. If you are a fan of RPGs in the past, Am Setsuna will be right up your alley. It releases on July 19th. Number 5, The King of Fighters XIV. The King of Fighters XIV is the latest in the fighting game series from SNK. The game features fully 3D models on a 2D plane. Visually, it looks great, as good as an arcade fighter should look. The gameplay is retaining the general formula of previous games with some refinements being made, but best of all, this game is launching with a stacked 50 characters. It's nice to see that over several characters being DLC and the game launching as a stripped-down version of itself. King of Fighters XIV releases on August 23rd. Number 4, God Eater Resurrection and God Eater 2 Rage Burst. When you talk to gamers about titles they would love to see come stateside, one game that would often be mentioned is God Eater, and now that is finally happening. God Eater Resurrection and God Eater 2 Rage Burst are both arriving to the States this summer. The games are very similar to Monster Hunter, being difficult and featuring large-scale boss fights. Keep in mind that both of these games are pretty old, originally releasing on the PSP, so don't expect visuals to be out of this world. But obviously expect polishing to make them look better on the current hardware. God Eater Resurrection arrives on June 28th, while God Eater 2 comes August 30th. Number 3, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. While Square Enix is the best known for Final Fantasy, Star Ocean has always been an extremely consistent JRPG series from them in terms of quality. After 7 years, we finally get a new game in the series, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, taking place between the second and third games. Star Ocean's strongest point has always been the gameplay. The real-time action battle system is a blast and always makes combat enjoyable. The storytelling in the previous game needed a lot of work, from long-winded cutscenes to the poor voice acting. It just wasn't very good. This time around, the cutscenes will be interactive, dynamic, and seamlessly transition with the gameplay. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness released on June 28th. Number 2, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has been one of the most anticipated games of this generation. It was announced back in 2013 and instantly gamers saw it as one of the most promising titles. With No Man's Sky, the small team over at Hello Games is taking the open world game formula and turning that up to 100 by becoming an open universe game. The player is tasked to explore several procedurally generated planets, and when I say several, we're talking over 18 quintillion planets. The goal of the game is to reach the center of the galaxy. How you do that is up to you. No Man's Sky is a game filled with potential, and we'll finally see if that potential is realized on June 21st.
It's full of choices. Like here, we're at the boundary between two warring factions. I could join in, I could take sides.
Finally, number 1, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Deus Ex Human Revolution was one of the best RPGs on last generation platforms, and 5 years later, we're finally getting the sequel in Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Mankind Divided takes place 2 years after the events of Human Revolution. Once again, you play as Adam Jensen, this time with new tech and augmentations. The gameplay will be similar to the previous game, with playing from a first-person perspective with a third-person cover system. And as the norm with Deus Ex, how you play the game is completely up to you. How do you want to upgrade Adam? Do you want to increase his strength so you can move a crate and enter a secret shortcut? Maybe you want to improve his hacking. All of these decisions are up to the player. If you want, you can even manage to beat Mankind Divided without killing a single opponent, bosses included this time. Mankind Divided is shaping up to be one of the best RPGs of this generation. It releases on August 23rd. That wraps up our countdown of 10 awesome games coming in summer 2016. What do you think? Which of these games are you the most excited for? Did we miss a game? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Let it go, let my body go.